Hello my lovely, and welcome back to my channel and to a project that I did with the suppliers of the Alexandra Renke Creative Box September 2020. A disclaimer right ahead, I did not do the course that was supplied in the Creative Box because I could not log in there, so I'm doing this as much as I know and using the lovely supplies, including the paper number 10/1956 and also an older paper that matches exactly in color that I'm going to use for the inside of the cover. And the paper number here is 10/14/53. In order not to make the video too long, because as I said, I'm not a professional bookbinder, I will speed up the video in a moment so you can follow along without it taking too long, and I would refer you to channels on YouTube who are much more proficient in showing projects like bookbinding, for instance Nick the Booksmith, or to log into Alexandra Renke and purchase a course where you can learn the tricks of the trade from the experts. And here I'm showing you the calendar that I received in the Creative Box, alongside the grey cardboard, the ring binder, the rivets, and also the backing fabric for the spine. And I'm trying to work out how to set the punch holes. I'm using this punch from Memory Keepers that I have, and it comes, or you can order different punches, and in this case I'm using the round punch, which I have to set in order to fit the holes of the ring binding. Of course, I made a blooper and tried to do it like you would do with the normal German ring binding files, where you can set the punches to a certain length and then just turn over the page and punch it again, and it will automatically have the same distance, but not with this one. So I'm starting to punch. Of course, I didn't start with the last pages, as would have made sense perhaps, but I started with the first pages, and then later on you will see that I'll cover up those holes that are not correct, that I'm going to punch right now, and I will put some pattern paper over the holes once I figure out which holes I need to punch. I hope this is not too confusing, but you will see as you go along in the video. And of course, this is why perhaps you should not follow my advice or my tutorial, if you want to call it that, but to follow the Alexandra Renke original one. I wish I really could log in there, but unfortunately I have tried several times because we've received projects with the Creative Box, and each time I failed for some reason. Perhaps I should write to them and ask for advice, which always helps, doesn't it? But here I needed to get it done. I wanted this calendar to give to someone at Christmas, and so this is why you see me doing all of this now. And by the way, you may have noted not sure if you can see it on the video, but the backside of the calendar pages has a dotted grid, which is really nice. So here I used a piece of paper to work out how the punches need to be set, which is what I should have done in the first place. And it doesn't look very professional, but it worked. So in the end I sorted it, and I will speed up the video from here now. This punch is pretty good because it's flexible and you can have different holes, like for discs for instance. But one big criticism I have with this one is that it only takes 1 or 2 pages. You cannot put 3 pages of normal writing paper of 80 grams into it. And also the punches are not 100% tight in there. If you like me, put in 3 pages and you can't get them out, the chances are that they are wobbling, and you know, you'll have to set them again and be careful about it. So on one hand I'm happy I have it, but on the other I'd rather have a professional one, but of course they are much more expensive. So now you see me cutting the paper, and yeah, I did all the measurements, adding sufficient overlap, and here you can see me putting glue onto the linen backing for the spine. And I'm using an ordinary PVA glue that I have in a huge bottle. The top is broken, and as you may have seen in my previous video, it's doing okay. And so I'm pressing the fold over into the grooves of the spine. And here you see me already gluing onto the paper. And what I did was, I'm not 100% sure if you're supposed to glue the paper over the fabric or vice versa, but I wanted to see or show as much of the pattern paper as possible, so that's how I did it. And the top and bottom edge of the paper are quite narrow, but I will cover this with the inside cover, and that is no problem at all. So here I'm cutting it to size, making sure that I have the exact measurements. I'm also using the PVA glue to paint the whole sheet with the glue, and then applying it to the grey cardboard, lose all the air bubbles and enforce the grooves with my bone folder. Now of course you see me punching the holes with this tool that I have, and what you do is there's a spring in the tool and you pull up the one side, and then it crashes down into the paper, making the holes. And that is the same tool that you use to fasten the rivets. And yeah, I think I'm not showing you this properly, but it's very easy to do. And the tools are not very expensive. So on to the fixing of my mistake from the punching. Here I'm gluing on the strips of paper onto the first pages of the calendar. And of course punching them properly this time. After that, all that remains to do is to put the pages inside the ring binder, and then I also made a bookmark from the leftover pattern paper that I had, and I found a ceramic leaf that I had in my stash from years ago, where I did a course with ceramics and made pearls or beads and other ornaments, and I fixed that together with some ribbon onto the bookmark so that it could hang on the outside. And the funny thing is, the color matched exactly the flowers on the paper, which was a surprise, and I was very happy with the result. I'm so happy with this whole calendar, and the recipient was also over the moon to receive it. So here are some close-ups. I do hope you also liked my process video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up on the video and follow my channel if you don't mind. I would be over the moon to see you again next time when I upload my next video, which will probably be the unboxing of the Alexandra Renke subscription box for February this year, which is due to arrive sometime next week. Until then, do take care, do what you love, and I'll see you then. Bye for now. Ta-da!